All right, so after several days with Gene, I think that we are finally ready to crack. Obviously, we've already cracked multi-day support here at 870-ish. I am short at roughly 845-ish, so I'm up a few cents a share on my position right now. Um, Once it cracks this 840 level, you're going to see a real collapse, and now it's literally going to happen right during this video. Um, because it's cracked multi-day support and now it's about cracking intraday support. And as you'll see, there'll be a tidal wave of sellers, and we will be taking out the lows here. And the day low is 823. If it can take out 823, it can go to 8. And if it can go to 8, then you're going to have a massive, massive morning panic. This is exactly what I teach. Thanks to my new broker, E-Trade, for having shares to short. Fantastic. My high net worth broker also has shares to short, but this is heading in the right direction. This looks easy on a video. This has been several days coming, and I've lost a few $1,000s being early. I was early this morning, and here we go. So it's gonna have to take out the day low of 823. It's also under the SSR, which is a short sale restriction, meaning that even if you want to short right now, you're just gonna show up on the ask here, and you're probably not gonna get executed. And that's why I was so early with my trades. So I alerted it. I don't know. It feels like an eternity ago. It's really somewhere in here. Anyways, here we are, right at the lows of the day. Congrats to everybody who is short. I was short yesterday in the nines also, but I had to cover a little early just because of my small account was in danger of not being above 25,000, which is not cool for my high net worth broker. I'm trading with a very small account this year. Some people think that is crazy, but I think that it's a great educational experience to trade with a small account so you can see the problems, or else I would have been short overnight. But you can't risk going under the $25,000 rule for day trading with my high net worth broker. So I had to cover, got back over 25K, and here we are, literally about to take out the day low. You can see it puts up a fight at everything. I'm not even tempted to cover. Right now I'm up, I don't know, 2 or 3,000. I want this. Sometimes you go for home runs. This is the time. And there we go. We just took out the day low. Huge sellers. It has to take out 8 though. It really has to take out 8. There we go. Oh my God, it's so beautiful to get this on video. Come on, come on. Takes a little while. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful morning panic. Again, E-Trade has shares to short. My high net worth broker has shares to short. It's getting actually easier to short these kinds of stocks thanks to my teachings, which are becoming more mainstream. I don't claim to have invented short selling. I'm just a guy who uses it, and it's made me pretty rich, and it's made several of my top students rich. This is the game, and here we go, cracking, beautiful. I'm now up. I'm up a lot. All right, here we go. Here is the panic. I gotta start thinking about what I'm gonna do here. I am short 10,000 at 851. Cover 5K. What to do? It did take out the day low, but we're not getting the absolute panic that I want. I'm going to cover. Done at 11:16. Also E-Trade. Oh, maybe it is going to crack 8. This is also what happened. So I'm short at my high net worth broker and E-Trade. I went bigger. I haven't even had time to alert the extra trades because I'm making this video. but I wanted to show you this is more important than sending out another alert. I mean, I've been shorting this thing for like 5 days. People are sick of my alerts, and they're like, "Can't you give up?" 820. Let me cover. That was actually a really good cover by me, because it took out the day low, but it couldn't. That was my 3,000 right there at 818. But it couldn't take out 8, which is still going to happen later. So I didn't update my alert, but here is what I am doing. Covered at roughly 815. Nice win, all caught on live video. Same exact Sykes trades pattern. Probably gonna crack $8 a share later today and truly panic, but I'm taking solid, I think this is like $4,000 ish in profits. I don't even know the exact. It's 4K profit on Gene. I'm not optimized for trading. Here it is at 819. So it took out the day low, and we got a little bit of a panic. We didn't get a true panic. I really wanted to capture like a true panic down to like the 7s. But I'll take it. I just made like 40 cents a share on the 10,000. So yeah, I guess I made like 4 grand there, and then on E-Trade I made like a grand. So yeah, like 4 or 5 grand. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool to make that on this stock. It's been frustrating for several days, but you got to keep trying when the pattern is perfect, especially when it cracks support like this. Just absolutely beautiful. And I might reshort this, but I like locking in $4,000 or $5,000 in profits. This is the pattern. You make 1,000, you make 2,000, you make 3,000, 5,000 over and over and over again. Sometimes you're wrong. You cut losses, and eventually it adds up to millions. This is not over. This stock will go, back to the 7s, maybe even the 6s today. But when you can make, 4 or 5 grand in a morning, you take it. You take it every time. So congrats to everybody who has E-Trade or my high net worth broker. If you want an intro to my high net worth broker, email admin@timothysykes.com. These plays are going to keep happening. Sometimes you're going to have the SSR, which is annoying to short into. Sometimes you're going to get squeezed a little bit, but if you cut losses quickly and you're there for the true panic, you can bank. And this is not over yet. This is just my first $4,000 or $5,000 profit. So I'm sorry again, I didn't update the whole positions, but I know some of you are just complaining because I've sent out like 20 text messages the past few days shorting this. So whether I'm short 7,000 or 10,000, where I bet pretty big, I'm short. And I don't want you following my alerts. I want you learning from these setups. I want you to anticipate it. You'll see a lot of students are surprised that I'm not that great of a trader. The $4.2 million that I've made with this strategy is not anywhere near best case scenario. I'm not optimized for trading, as you see, but the patterns are there, and they're going to keep happening, whether it's on a stock like Gene, which is up from, just to put things in perspective, I showed you the intraday chart. I mean, this is up from the ones like a month ago. And this is a classic supernova. This is what I talk about in all my DVDs. When I say watch my DVDs, it's because I want you to learn the pattern. And now you see it bouncing a little bit. So I covered into panic. Sometimes I cover too soon, but in this case, covering at roughly 8:15, that was fantastic. So congrats to all shorts here. I'll see you in the chat room. So in my last video, I was all excited about GENE breaking the day low and breaking, this kind of multi-day support in here at around 890, and I covered too soon. I locked in a few $1,000s in profits, and the stock basically just tanked another $1 a share. It just hit a low of 716, and I was covering at roughly 815, as you saw right here in that video, and it was the bottom for a little bit. And I tried to reshort here, and I couldn't. And this is the problem with me and my strategy. I'm not anywhere close to perfect, and my critics will tell you that, and I'll tell you that too. Making a few $1,000s in profits today, that's good. but it's a lot of stress, and I was wrong for I don't know how many days leading up to today. Um, we had to wait for the right price action, but I was early. I broke my own rules. I'm very, very far from perfect, um, and that sucks. If I was really a perfect trader and I stuck to my rules, everybody would see how great they are and how crucial they are to learn and implement in your own strategy in your own trading. Um, that's life. I tried the best I can. Um, I was kind of excited just to capture the panic live on video. And I really thought that it was going to break below 8 into this panic. As it turned out, it based from like 10:30 a.m. to like 10:40 a.m. So I would have had to extend that video another 10 minutes before you got the next crack. And I definitely would have been covering in here. There's no way I would have waited till 7:15. I would have been covering into this panic. Best case scenario, I could have made another 40 or 50 cents a share, so another like 4, 5, 6 grand, which would have been cool because then I could say, here's a video of how I made like 10 grand in under an hour. But the point is that this is a strategy that you don't have to follow me. I don't want you to follow me because oftentimes I short at the wrong time, I cover too soon. I want you to learn from my mistakes, and that's why I'm open about it. A lot of people will say like bad things about me because I show all of my mistakes. I think that it's actually a very big positive to show my mistakes. I wish more traders would do it, but frankly, it's embarrassing. When you're all excited about a pattern, you're say, oh, look, you've been doing this 15 years, trust the millionaires, and I screw up and I break my own rules and I cover too soon and, I look like a fool. But it's better that I look like a fool and you see that and you learn from what I do right and what I do wrong than you looking like a fool or being a fool and losing money. So give me all of your hate. Give me all of your negativity. Make fun of my trading. Whatever you want to do. I don't care. I've made millions of dollars this way through very imperfect trading. And it's not a surprise that several of my top students now who have made millions of dollars quicker than I did. And they're making more. I wouldn't be surprised if Tim Grittani is up 6 figures shorting Gene today. Even the other plays that I'm missing, CLRX. I mean, this one was a beautiful, beautiful play to short sell into yesterday when it took out the afternoon low right here. I'm not saying just short randomly because this stock is scary, but yesterday you clearly, and several people messaged me and I was too busy with Gene, but CLRX, once it takes out this low right here, it tried to take it out right here and it was a little too early and it bounced. But the second time when it takes it out, and it tried to bounce right here too, but you got to be shorting right here at 2-ish. And, it was available to short with my high net worth broker. I was too busy with Gene. I ignored it. And now, anybody who shorted that little crack is up 50% in a day. So my 4.2 million, nowhere near best case scenario. And you really, really, really have to understand that. So I'll chalk up today to my latest few $1,000s in profits where I could have done better. Gene is not over yet, as you can see. It's coming back. It's up to 750, and that's cool because I want it to come back because it's today is really frankly just the first big panic day, and that opens up a whole new door of opportunities. If it can bounce, you short into the bounce. No matter what it does, and it's pretty much going to be a great short overnight unless it comes all the way back, which I don't see happening, but it could. Or if it drops too much, then it might not be too great of a short. But most likely, I'm going to short into a bounce later today or short overnight into the next trading day. So if you learn the patterns and you spot them, whether you collect, what did I make, 30, 40 cents a share, or if you trade it better and you make $1.40 a share, these are the plays that, there's such a wide room to profit. There's such a wide margin of error. You saw where I was all excited. I was like, oh, it's going to panic. It's going to panic. Oh, it didn't panic. Okay, collect my few $1,000s. Then 15 minutes later, it panics. So my timing isn't exact. My trading isn't exact. But I hope you get the gist of what I'm doing and the gist of what I'm teaching. Because that matters. Because pretty much anybody who was shorting, in the 10s, 9s, 8s is now absolutely banking. And this isn't over. This will be in the sixes, fives, maybe even fours next week. So congrats to all shorts. Shame on me for covering. I'm going to go cry and wipe my tears with a few $100 bills that I've just earned. Thank you.